guys, my name's Zach and I'm the West Virginia DIY guy. Today in the shop I'm going to be building a workstation. It's a little different than my workbenches. This one's only going to be 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep, and 37 inches tall. I'm keeping it the same height as my previous benches because it's comfortable for me to work at. On this bench I'll be able to permanently mount my variable speed grinder, my vise, and maybe even my dovetail jig. I'm going to put pegboard on the back and mount a work light on top. So follow along, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start by cutting the front rails for the workbench. I'll need 4 pieces at 4 feet long. So these 8-foot 2x4s, I'm just cutting them in half. Now I'll be cutting the side rails. The front of the workbench is going to have 2 legs that are each 36¼ inches long. The top is 3/4 of an inch, so that'll give me my total height of 37 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my front posts at 36¼ now. Okay, what I've done here is I've set up the frame for the top. This has got 3 of the 21-inch pieces and 2 of the 4-foot pieces. The 4-foot piece will go to the outside, so the 21-inch are on the inside, and that comes out to 4 feet by 2 feet total. The middle piece is centered at 24 inches, and I went ahead and put some clamps to hold the pieces together, and then clamped it down to my existing workbench so that I can go ahead and drill my countersunk holes and put the screws in. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this, and we'll check it out. Alright, what I've got here is the front legs attached to the top frame. I used my framing square to make sure that the legs were square so that I wouldn't have to worry about when I slide the second frame over for the bottom shelf if they're going to line up the right way. So what I'm going to do now is, since I've got the tops clamped, I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes on either side, put 2 screws in, and then I'll take the clamps off and put in my 3rd screw. Alright, what I've done here is just clamp the back posts in place where they need to be. So now I'm going to go ahead and drill my countersunk holes and then put the screws in. Before I do this 3rd post, I just wanted to explain that I have been using the framing square to make sure that everything is straight before I screw anything in. So this one's in the right place and it's clamped in, so I'm going to go ahead and countersink and drill that as well. Alright, so now I've got both my frames in place. The top frame is 24 inches by 48 inches, and my bottom frame is 21 inches by 48 inches. By making this the bottom 21 inches, I can put it on the inside just like I did with my other workbenches, and that creates a little more leg room and also provides support for my bottom shelf. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach these. I've got the MDF cut, and I'm going to go through, countersink the holes, and screw the top down. With the pegboard cut to the right size, I went ahead and clamped it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and screw in the pegboard to the 2x4s. I'm just going to use the existing pegboard holes instead of drilling new holes. The heads of the screws are big enough that I don't think it'll pull through or be a problem. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I've changed the design a little bit for for how the top is going to be laid out. So now what I've done is I've shortened some of my 2x4s and I'm going to mount this here now. My dad happens to be in town, so he's going to help me hold this for this part of the video, and then we'll move on from there. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this workbench. This is really basic, 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 7 feet tall. I did the math and this cost me $85 to build. So you can easily build this yourself. I'm going to go ahead and put my shopping list in the video description, so if you're interested in making this yourself, you know exactly what I bought and where you can find it. Again, this was just so easy to build. It took me about 3 hours to put this together. I did use a table saw for a couple pieces, but it could easily be done with a circular saw. I went ahead and wrapped things up by attaching a power strip to the side of the workbench here, so that I can just flip the on-off switch on the power strip to control my lights and the power to my equipment I've mounted onto the bench. I'm using this as more of a workstation for myself. I've got the other larger workbench that I use for most of my building stuff. So I permanently mounted these things on there, but I do have some space to work if I decide to. I hope you liked my video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments and questions in the comment section below. I try to respond to every single comment. Until next time, God bless.